Hello and welcome to the sixth part in the trading series. And as we left off previous, we're seeing markets at all-time highs. At least our ABC coin is doing so. Bitcoin is doing very well at this stage, and we're seeing a retracement within the market. We really didn't have many coins left. We only were left back with 7,000. We're at the stage of, do we sell it? Like 200,000 Satoshi, a large number. But these things can go up really high. So does it go 400, 500 million? Like, who knows? But it went down. So therefore, now as a trader, you had 7,000. Now you got 12,000. So you got a little bit more room to work with. You're still in distribution mode. Volatility is large, ensuring large differences for the next buy and sell order. Because if you have these quick moves, if you're normally looking for 30% moves or whatever it is, you can increase it because it's available to you. And the bigger volatile moves on your sells and buybacks you can get, well, the more profitable it's going to be. And selling into 6 lots of 2,000 each, which means 12,000 divided by 6, that would result at the 0.12 handle, so just between the 14 and the 10, selling in here, it'd be a sale of 2.4 bitcoins. And thus, this is high stakes. And in a lot of coins, you might even notice that you become a big game player and you got to be creative in how you split your orders up. You just don't want to put one order for 2.4 bitcoin. Although, a lot of coins you can, though. Maybe you can use 3,000 coins for an upper, which, of course, is the larger. And there we go. So we put stakes in at 119,885, 196,936, and the most north buy order at 45,000. So we're at 70. We bought at 75. The differential is 30 basis points. If we get this buy-in, the inventory would go up from 12 to 17. That's a fairly nice increase. And at this time frame, Bitcoin is like 2,300 bucks. It's above that 1,200 point. Now that's a key number because that was the high many years ago. Retracing from there to 250, now it's broke above it. But to think 2,300 is high, when you've broken that kind of range, you know you got to be going higher than that. However, the idea of profit taking and hedging has to be, I think, very important. Remember, as Bitcoin climbs higher, to keep working Bitcoin into precious metals, gold and silver, even stocks, if there's some that you like, especially if there's some nice declines. It's all about part of diversification. Cash, of course, and products, money. You can use Bitcoin as money, and that's the best part within the precious metals. There's sites out there, companies out there that will take payment in it. You can go, okay, I want to buy a couple 100 ounces of silver, maybe buy myself 5 ounces of gold, push the buy button. Oh, I'll buy with Bitcoin or I'll buy with Litecoin, and yeah, buy some Tether. Now with Tether, you can think of a strategy here. Okay, I'll sell some at 3,000 and put a buy order at 1,000 after it executes. Basically getting 3 times the amount of Bitcoin that I sell. So if I sell, say, a 0.1 spot here, I could get back a 0.3 if it comes through. And then if I sell at 5,000, I'll look to buy it back at 2. And really just keep it going, 7,500 to 26, and so on and so forth. Already knowing what happened, and almost everybody here does, I guess 5 of these orders would hit, and 2 of them would have bought back already. Of course, that's spoiling it because the market does go up to 17,000, and later not much after that you get your buy order in, because you'd be talking about buying at 6,010, obviously. At least I like to do a bit above. And then in here, this one here would sell order at 12 at 4. Well, that would have hit a few months ago. And then of course this one here at 26, that's still waiting, and as with the other 2. And when you're doing this, you want to have a whole bunch of these get blown in the wayside, because as the Bitcoin prices go higher, your value goes up as you are trading markets to increase Bitcoins. And of course the price is up, so it's worth more. So you'll just keep on adding it in, and you'll have a bunch of US dollars that you can just do whatever later on if need be. But it just means the more rounds of profit taking you can get, the better. A few days later, market goes down, buying 5,000 at 50,000. Not at the 45 because the buy order was in at 50. Now the reason this is down because Bitcoin is pumping huge to 4,300 and is now entering distribution mode. Altcoins at this time are not rallying at all, like almost none of them. As Bitcoin is thus losing value. The inventory at 17,000 right now, and ABC is leaving distribution to neutral. And thus, that means when we're neutral, when we sell, we're going to be looking to do partial buybacks. And also in neutral, we were starting off selling 10% of what we had. I don't want to do that low of a percent in neutral territory. I'll do 1/6, which is about 18%. Because I feel I could do 6 shots selling 3,000, and the 6-1 is going to be really high. So I'm comfortable doing that. And then, of course, if I get a big one here, hit at 5,000, well, usually you're just going to get like the opposite of this type of thing here. It'll go up and back down, so it's like sweet. You buy it back, and you sold 5,000, you buy back 7,600 instantly. Just a sweet deal, stuff like that. But as we move forward, we'd actually get one of those kind of days because the buy order at 30,000 hit here, and it's up to 37, which means you could sell right now if you wanted to. You're doing so at just a little over 20%, and you're really just increasing your portfolio at this point. Do you think this is going to be a sustained bear market? It's already down 4 times. I mean, it could go down more, obviously, because 20,000 is still neutral territory. Bitcoin price steady at 3,700. That's good. A few days ago, Bitcoin was 5,000. Wow, that means you had a seller at 5,000. Remember that? Yeah, that should have hit. As well as your 3,000. So you've sold, you had 2 buy orders in to buy Bitcoin cheaper. Earlier in that day, it fell below 3,000 and it closed and such. So volatility. It's at 37, Bitcoin that is. A few days ago it was at 5,000, so it fell like 1,300. But it fell more. It was 3,000 intraday. So it lost 40% of its value in a few days, maybe 4 or 5, I don't know, well, just a few days. So a handful. And then you have it go up to 37 intraday. That's like 20+%. Very interesting. Back to this game here. So increasing the stakes to 1/6, which means you own 24,000, divide that by 6, it's 4,000. And an interesting, decent number above, 65. You can go 6,000. It's something decently above, but nothing that's going to get to the point where you sell way too much and it keeps going up and oh my goodness, I'm losing out on big gains. The orders will put in south of 48 and 78 and buy 9,000 of these coins at 20,020. Every time we're making new lows, we're just going to buy whatever a bit more because we're only going to be, from this point on, we're only using portions of what we profit took on the way up for however low this may go down. And after this decline, we can see the price went up several days later. Selling 4,000 at these 2 numbers, and 2 of 6 bullets used, 4 remaining. Johnny Chan, poker player, World Series champion in the past. Several bracelets. He stated before that poker chips are like ammunition. Bullets, basically. The more you have, the more you're able to do, the more damage you can do. And if you're running out of bullets, then there's not much left for you. So therefore, having 4 left means you're in good shape with this 16,000 inventory. Again, if this keeps going up, you're confident that your last sell order will be at a very high price and your profits are just going to be immaculate. Let's put some new sell orders in at these levels. Buy orders contain buys of 4,000. Given it still is in distribution mode when we're selling here at these like 50,000, 67. And this is supporting neutrality. So we're not going to give it the benefit of the doubt yet that this is a bear market, although it could be. But again, in distribution, we're buying back what we sold, in this case 4,000. Neutral, we're going to try to do in between. And accumulation, we buy everything that we can afford from the sale. But the market went down. And you got both those buy orders. So you sold 8,000, you bought 8,000. That's all profit taking. And its prices are up to 5,700. So are you profit taking any? And you should be. It is in the low end of distribution. ABC is staying and holding in neutral mode lately. Buying 8,000 at 20,000. 20 is what I'll be looking to do if it happens to say go lower. And sell at 43.97. When I'm putting these ones in, these aren't buybacks because I got no buybacks left. I canceled all the ones from before, and thus inserting them as I go with new prices moving, I guess, forward in time, downward in price, of course, on that of a bear market. But it looks like it's chopped above neutrality, it's chopped below it, or distribution levels, or the upper part. And it's if this is that high and it rolls over, it's looking as if it could be even coming close to accumulation mode again. And you got lucky. Yeah, lucky. Yeah, you sold at 43.975, but the high was 44. I mean, that's going to happen too. It's going to be like, wow, it's now down to 36.5. And you could buy that, technically speaking, you're going to get a gain of like close to 20%. But two reasons not to being, one, only a 20% decline. That's it. I mean, you're looking for better declines, especially with this high volatility that it has. When a market is down like close to like 8 times, and it still hasn't really went into a bearish territory mode, that's high volatility. So 2 previous lows pop out is another reason. Now, what are the 2 lows? Well, one is this lower congestion area right around the 18 average of lows. And that's much lower than 36. But then this one here. And you know what? You could even be saying a lower low for even higher volatility. And one of those 3 will be correct. Bitcoin prices are steady at 5,700. Looking at the chart, the best buy order is the lowest at 29,120. So this is 2,900 at this low. And you're neutral mode right now. So let's do a partial buyback. Because we just sold the 4,000 here. Let's try to buy back 5,000. Because if we were to take the Bitcoin we would receive from this sale, and then we put our buy order in the box, we're putting in okay. We're going to put it in for the 29,120. And I'm going to paste in the amount of Bitcoin I received from this sale. You can get a number near 6,000. So when I see that, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just put like 5. So I'll keep the remainder, of course, for profit taking. And I'm going to keep up selling 4,000. I'll sell in the congestion high, which is in the 68 area. That's, of course, up in here if it's going to go any further. And the answer was a pierce below. It went down. I mean, you got the 29. And there was no support in the early stages of that handle where your buy was made. Increasing your inventory now to 25,000, as you pretty much got like 4 times more than you had when you were at the top. Stakes remain 4,000 and 6,500. So you're basically doing like close to a 6x on here. Bitcoin has rallied to 6,700. Another dose of profit taking. I mean, just keep on, just like at the bar, just go, how many can you take? I mean, if it's a giant chart, well, Andre the Giant, former professional wrestler, I think something around 40 beers or 2 cases in one sitting, because he's a giant. When your portfolio becomes a giant, well, you might have a lot of doses, a lot of shots to take. And this is where I should, on the next chart, put the beep, 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 Bitcoin alert. I mean, Bitcoin has just reached 10,000. It's gotten to 11. It's now at 9. Profit take city. I mean, some of your sell orders against the tether, no more gold and silver's coming, maybe you burst buying small amounts, all that type of stuff is coming into play now. And there's a lot of methods in which maybe you can consider using it for so many different purposes. After all, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and all that. Well, it's money. Well, champagne with your dinner as your ABC falls against Bitcoin, which is kicking ass. Bitcoin, that is. It's heavy in distribution now. Bitcoin, that is, because I was looking at neutral like up to about like really like 3,000. I mean, breaking above that 4,000 is where you get in distribution mode, and it's getting noticeably higher than that. You want to keep going, so no matter how far, I mean, Bitcoin's your base currency, Litecoin, all that stuff. You want to make sure you're never selling out of this, and that no matter, and when you're profit taking, you want to ensure that, okay, if this goes up 50% double to your next low level, are you going to be doing very well? And if your answer is yes every time, then you are at least taking enough. And if you're like, oh my goodness, I'm in much amazing city, well, then you ask yourself, well, can you profit take more? Are you profit taking enough? You want to keep the balance fine to make sure that you are able to distribute Bitcoin enough into other asset classes and other risk reward trading decisions, adding other coins, betting the tether kind of stuff as a hedge, all that stuff, so that it works out that every stage, every leg higher Bitcoin goes, you're in great shape. So it's all about profit-taking city, champagne with your dinner, and all that type of stuff. Now, again, Bitcoin's in distribution mode. Well, the ABC is now falling in the early stages of accumulation mode. It's down over 10 times. It's 18,000 here. 18,000. It was 200,000. And distribution, or neutral, was between 20 and 50. So everything below 20 was accumulation, which means selling now in these areas are going to mean complete buybacks. Also, this also means 10x bets. And within the situation of buying 8,000 here, around that 20 number, let's buy 12,000 at the 12. Put sell orders in about 25 and 40. And work from there. 25 is just a big congestion area. Not the greatest of profits, but I don't know what else you can do in that spot. So let's keep the stakes 4,065 because I want to do about 10x. And at 33 would be 10x, but we're not quite yet firmly in accumulation mode. Okay, well, the 12,000 order fills. Buying 12,000 at the 12,000 price. You bought 12,000 at 12,000 Satoshi. And you could have got lower. 10,000 was in store. Oh, well. That happens. But inventory is at 4,500. The stakes will remain the same. Your altcoin is crashing. But holy shit, Bitcoin is at all-time highs over 16,000 D profit taking. It's going straight up. It can't keep doing it, but it can go up to 20, 30, 40, 50. And if it keeps going up, it's going to just go down. Now the question on that is when. But now this is just fantastic for yourself, and you're seeing your altcoin get its ass kicked and Bitcoin just crushing it. Put a buy order in, 15,000 at 7,010. Let's put the sales in at 16 or almost 17 and 24. And I did make an error. The stakes don't remain the same because we're at 10%. What's 10% of 45,000? That's 4,500. Stakes were 4,000. No, stakes are 4,500 now. And when I say stuff like stakes are this and they keep rising, think of it like a poker tournament. When you play a poker tournament, you start off with maybe whatever amount of chips you start off with, but in a large field game, your stack goes 7 times, 10 times, 20 times, 50 times higher. Because you become a bigger game player when you knock out people and players get eliminated. And the stakes, the blinds go up. Well, that's the same sort of deal here. That's the whole plan. Your bankroll goes up like a poker tournament would over several days, like the World Series. You start with 30,000 chips. Next thing you know, you got 3.7 million. And now you're very deep, close to the final table at 28 million chips, but you're still got many players to go through. That's the way I like to look at it. But throwing that part aside, we can see this first box up top tops at 16,275, which is south of where your order is. So you didn't sell there. So that's a spot, again, where you need to adjust it, either push it higher or lower. In this case, I would go lower. Now, I put a box, the second one there, and I probably should have put it above it, because technically, I would have sold, because the high was 16,275, so what's below it? 15,975. So that's where I would have put the order, and it would have been either it would have been I can't remember what the exact high was. I think because of where I put the box, it actually hit exactly 16,000 on this day, which means you would have hit it like here. Either way, your sell order hits. Now the BTC prices are holding around 16, 17,000 last 3 days, giving ample time to profit take if you haven't done so before. I mean, you got 60, 70, 80 hours. Sell orders adjustment. Let's put them in at around the 22 and the 21.5 and 31.5 order. And after placing the orders, you want to check the status when your new vehicle is going to be coming. It may take a little longer than all that gold and silver, which should arrive soon. And that one's coming very soon. You can check on the internet the expected delivery date, but it might be in tomorrow. And Bitcoin has just reached $20,000 a few days ago. This is getting crazy, and it's currently holding 16,000. This is phenomenal. And the best of both worlds, because Bitcoin price is higher, gold and silver has arrived with those nice new wheels. It's the first day of winter, but I ain't cold. It ain't Shitsmiths this year, and inventory's down to 31,500 because 2 sell orders got filled, as we can see in here. One at 21,495, and then the close of the day was 27,282. So you mean, come on, you just take it. When it's like 6,000 or so differential, this market has kind of turned bearish. Maybe it's bottoming from here. I don't know, but you just got to sell, especially now that Bitcoin's like 16,000. It was 20, and you have 3 of these 10. That's used. You got a lot of chips, a lot of arsenal left. Let's put some new sell orders in at 35 or south of 35 and 49 and move forward. And only by 1 day, because that 20 number, well, it hit right here. So buy 6,100 in this case, as the inventory rises to 37,600. Because we're now in accumulation mode within moving in. That's how I got it set now, as we're starting to at least any future sell orders, I think we're going to be moving to neutral and then distribution. But for now, the market has went down quite a bit. We've had a rally, we've had a buyback, which is nice. So 37,600 and stakes remain unchanged. Orders in at about 28 and 39. Now the buy orders remain in at 6,840 of them for 14,020. And 7,140 for 10,020 of them moving forward. These are for buybacks. And the Bitcoin prices have just fallen $1,000 to 14,000 in 1 day. Or should have been 2 days. But either way, it's around 14,000. I don't think it's too much of a concern. I mean, and when I say that, it actually is. But not really, because when we talk about this trading strategy, if it happens to go down to over 3,000, are you going to be fine? You're making yourself in a position, and then that's why those hedges you're doing, so that if it happens, so be it. It's fine. And if the market goes up to 30, 40, 60, 80,000, are you fine? And the answer is yes, when you don't sell all that much, but you keep enough so that when new legs higher come in, you're in amazing shape and you're just taking shot after shot of profit taking. But if the markets go down, profit taking situations will not come into place. This will be the end. This is the end of part 6. In part 7, we're going to be talking about that of capitulation and market crashes. So spoiler, this market isn't going to be going much more. And we're going to be in for the 2018 year. And in crypto space, it was not a good year as far as prices. They continuously went down all year. And as far as this coin's concerned, I'm going to give you a spoiler. It will break this support significantly. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.